In an age where, science gives us this incredible predictive power and AI seems to be getting smarter all the time, well, it's easy to feel that maybe things like religion, faith, even the idea of God are becoming
Mm,
unnecessary.
right. It's a huge question.
It really is. Is science actually making God an afterthought? Or is there maybe something deeper going on, a more nuanced relationship?
Mm.
So our mission today in this deep dive is to explore some source material that makes a fascinating argument. It suggests that modern science, actually, especially things like chaos theory and quantum physics, well, they quietly undermine that whole idea of a completely predictable universe.
By doing that.
Exactly. By doing that, they reveal that what our source calls the creator is still, well, absolutely essential.
And the source we're digging into today is Science, Chaos, Quantum, and the Creator's Unseen Hand. It's an article by Rabbi Shlomo Ezagui, which appeared on Israel National News Arutz and the TOI Times of Israel blog.
Sounds fascinating.
It really is. Offers a fresh angle on this very old question. We'll be pulling out some key insights.
Okay, great. So let's start with that initial challenge science posed, this idea that once you have an algorithm, it's all science. Why did that seem to push God out of the picture?
Well, for a long time, that was sort of the prevailing mood, wasn't it? If you could figure out the formula, the steps,
The algorithm.
right, then it's just science. You just follow the data, follow the equations. The thinking became, we don't really need God for this anymore. And this really gained traction as science just kept explaining more and more about the world.
And it felt like such a monumental shift, didn't it? Science was seen as this objective, totally reliable framework. You could use it to understand physical reality, maybe even purpose itself.
Yeah.
And Rabbi Zagui's article points out this sometimes led to what he calls a dangerous and misguided conclusion that faith, trusting in God, was just old news, an outdated relic.
Like humanity had sort of graduated beyond it.
Exactly, as if we'd figured it all out and God was, maybe a nice idea for the past, but not essential now, an afterthought.
Right. And to really get why that perspective became so dominant, you have to look back a bit historically. Think about classical physics. Sir Isaac Newton. I mean, his work just revolutionized everything.
Totally.
His laws could explain an apple falling, sure, but also the planets moving in their orbits. So precise. It gave birth to this incredibly powerful and, well, seductive idea.
The clockwork universe idea.
And exactly that, the universe as this giant, predictable machine, just ticking along according to fixed, unbreakable rules.
And the ultimate expression of that, the thing that really cemented this deterministic view, that came from Pierre Laplace, right, the French mathematician.
Absolutely. Laplace had this thought experiment. Imagine a sort of superintelligence.
Oh.
Later people called it Laplace's demon.
Okay.
If this being, this demon, could know the exact position and the exact velocity of every single particle in the entire universe at one moment.
Wow, that's a lot of data.
An impossible amount. But if it could know all that, Laplace argued, it could theoretically calculate the entire past and the entire future. Perfectly.
So everything would be predetermined.
Completely. Every event, every action, just the unfolding of these initial conditions according to the laws of physics. No room for chance, no room for, well, anything else, really.
That's a powerful idea. And there was proof that seemed to back it up, wasn't there? Like Edmund Halley and his comet?
Oh, absolutely. That was a stunning moment. Halley used Newton's laws, crunched the numbers, and predicted that a specific comet would return in 1758. And it did, right on schedule. For the scientific world back then, that was just breathtaking. It really felt like the universe was playing by predictable rules, that its secrets were being unlocked.
You can see why that deterministic view took hold.
For sure. And even now, classical physics lets us make incredibly accurate long-term predictions. Think about solar eclipses. We can predict those centuries ahead. Or planetary positions.
Yeah, you can look up exactly where Mars will be years from now.
Precisely. If you know the starting point and the rules, you can calculate the outcome. In that view, the future isn't some mystery. It's just a matter of computation. Like it's already written, in the equations.
Okay, so that vision of a perfect clockwork universe, it sounds neat, tidy, predictable, but I'm sensing a but coming. Reality wasn't quite so simple, was it?
No, not even close. The first really big crack in that dream of perfect prediction started to appear in the 20th century with chaos theory.
Chaos theory.
This showed us that, many systems are deterministic in principle. Their future state is technically determined by their current one. But, and this is the key in practice, They are fundamentally unpredictable over the long term.
And that's the butterfly effect, isn't it? The classic example.
That's the one. It captures the idea perfectly. A tiny, tiny change in the starting conditions, like theoretically a butterfly flapping its wings somewhere, can get amplified over time and lead to massive, completely different outcomes later on, like a tornado somewhere else weeks later.
It's just too complex to track every tiny influence with perfect accuracy.
Exactly. And we bump into this kind of practical unpredictability all the time. Think about medicine. A doctor can have all the data, but can they promise, absolutely guarantee a treatment will work perfectly?
No, there are always uncertainties, variables.
Right. Or weather forecasting. They're pretty good for, what, a day or two? Maybe a few days.
Yeah, short term.
But beyond that, the accuracy just plummets.
Oh, definitely. Living in South Florida, you see it with hurricanes all the time. They track them with satellites, supercomputers, everything.
All the best tech.
And still, the predicted path can shift dramatically, sometimes just hours before landfall. It's humbling, really. Nature keeps some cards close to its chest.
And this is a crucial point the rabbi's article makes. Scientists often say, well, these limits are just practical. If we could somehow know every single initial condition perfectly.
The Laplace's demon idea again.
Yeah. Right. Then we could make perfect predictions. But the article argues very strongly that such perfect knowledge is eternally beyond our reach. It's not just about better computers, it's a fundamental barrier.
So it's not just hard, it's actually impossible in practice.
That's the argument. And this practical unpredictability the source suggests connects to a deeper spiritual point. It says, even at the Newtonian level of physics, accurate predictions will never be absolute. God, it seems, reserves the final say.
So even within the old physics, there's a limit.
Yes. And it reminds the author of that saying from the sages in Pirkei Avot.
Oh, which one?
It is not upon you to finish the work, but neither are you free to desist from it.
Right. We have to do our part, try our best, calculate, plan.
We strive, we use our science, our reason. But the ultimate result, the final word, the article suggests that rests somewhere beyond our calculations.
Okay, so chaos theory puts a big dent in practical predictability, but that's still within a sort of classical framework, right? Things get even stranger, don't they?
Oh, they get much, much stranger. The biggest blow, the most profound blow, the article says, to that whole deterministic idea came with quantum mechanics in the early 20th century.
Right, the quantum world.
Yeah. And unlike classical physics, which deals in certainties, quantum physics just refuses to speak in certainties. It only gives us probabilities.
Can you give an example?
Sure. Think of a single radioactive atom. We know it will eventually decay, but we cannot predict the exact moment it will happen. For one single atom, it seems to be inherently random.
We can predict how many will decay in a group over time, statistically.
Exactly. We know the half-life, the probabilities are very precise for large numbers, but for that one specific atom, the moment of decay is, as far as we can tell, fundamentally unknowable in advance. Pure chance.
And that leads to Heisenberg's uncertainty principle, doesn't it? Which really messes with Laplace's whole idea.
It completely shreds Laplace's dream, as the article puts it, right at the most fundamental level. The uncertainty principle says you literally cannot know certain pairs of things about a particle simultaneously with perfect accuracy.
Like its position and its momentum, right?
That's the classic pair.
Okay.
The more precisely you pin down its position, the less precisely you can know its momentum, and vice versa. So, that perfect initial knowledge Laplace's demon needed. It's not just practically impossible, it's theoretically impossible according to quantum mechanics.
The universe itself prevents you from knowing everything perfectly at the start.
Precisely, which means the future can't be just a calculation based on the present, because the present itself is inherently fuzzy at that level.
And then there's superposition. That's really mind-bending.
Oh yeah, superposition. The idea that before you measure it, a quantum particle isn't in one definite state. It exists in a kind of haze of multiple possibilities coexisting all at once.
Like it's both here and there, or spinning both ways.
Kind of, yes, until you make a measurement. The act of observing forces it to, well, determines collapse into just one of those possibilities, and which one it collapses into. That seems to be random.
So the universe isn't following a script. It's like it's deciding things moment by moment when we look.
That's a great way to think about it. It really shook the foundations. You had this huge debate. Einstein famously hated this randomness. He suspected there must be some deeper hidden variables controlling things.
God does not play dice, he said.
Exactly. But then came John Bell and experiments based on his work, Bell's theorem. And those experiments have strongly suggested that, nope, There are no local hidden variables of the kind Einstein hoped for. The randomness seems to be real, intrinsic to how reality works.
Wow.
The implication is just profound. It means, as the article puts it, that reality at its deepest level is not a fixed script waiting to be read. It's not all
So
predetermined.
what is it then?
Well, the source suggests it's more like something that unfolds step by step, moment by moment, a divine composition in progress.
The divine composition. I like that.
And the author connects this idea to the daily Jewish prayer that says, God renews in his goodness every day continuously the works of creation. It's not a one-time event, but an ongoing process.
Okay, so if the universe is fundamentally unpredictable at its core because of chaos, because of quantum randomness, what does that mean for how we understand our place in it? How does this unpredictability connect back to the idea of a creator?
Well, Rabbi Ezagui argues that this very unpredictability revealed by science actually opens up space for understanding God's role in a different way. He quotes the prophet Isaiah.
Isaiah, okay.
Yeah, Isaiah 46, verses 9 and 10, where God says, I declare the end from the beginning, and from ancient times things not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will accomplish all my purpose.
Declaring the end from the beginning, but things aren't yet done.
Exactly. The rabbi sees a harmony there. Modern physics shows us the universe isn't a deterministic machine just playing out a fixed script moment to moment. Yet the ancient text speaks of an ultimate divine purpose that will be accomplished. It suggests God's plan stands, even amidst the unpredictability of the unfolding process.
So it's not about controlling every dice roll, but ensuring the ultimate outcome.
That seems to be the interpretation offered, yes. And to make this point really hit home, the article shares a very powerful, very personal story.
Oh.
It's the testimony of an Israeli soldier who was held prisoner by Hamas. He was kept in darkness underground. His captor kept telling him he was forgotten, that nobody cared, his family, the world, trying to break his spirit.
That sounds horrific.
Truly. And one day, the guard near him fell asleep, holding his walkie-talkie. The soldier felt this overwhelming despair, and he just prayed. Prayed for a sign, any sign, that he wasn't alone, wasn't abandoned.
What happened?
As he was praying, the walkie-talkie on the sleeping guard's belt suddenly crackled to life. And incredibly, a broadcast from Israel came through the static. And he heard. He recognized his own mother's voice.
His mother. How?
She was speaking at a rally, calling out his name, telling the crowd, telling the world, we have not forgotten you, we will get you out of that hellhole.
Wow. Just wow at that exact moment.
At that exact moment. And the article emphasizes how that incredible, seemingly impossible moment of divine reassurance, that sign, it carried him. It gave him the strength to endure the awful months that followed until he was finally released.
That's an incredible story. It really speaks to something beyond predictable cause and effect.
It does. It underscores that idea that even when things seem random or chaotic or just bleakly uncertain, there might still be an unseen hand, a purpose at work.
So the big takeaway from the source seems to be this. We work hard, we use our science, our technology, we build algorithms, launch satellites, try to predict and control everything we can.
We absolutely do. We calculate, innovate, plan.
But, as the article concludes, the final word always belongs to God. Science can measure and model, but it can never replace him.
Yeah. It brings to mind that line from Deuteronomy, doesn't it? Chapter 8, verse 18. It is he who gives you the strength to be successful. It's a reminder of where the ultimate power lies, even as we use the abilities we've been given.
It's quite a journey we've taken in this deep dive, isn't it? Starting from that idea of a perfect, predictable, clockwork universe.
Which seemed so compelling for so long.
Right. And ending up with a universe revealed by chaos and quantum physics to be fundamentally unpredictable. Random, even at its very core.
It really turns the initial assumption on its head. The limits of science, the boundaries of what we can predict. Far from pushing God out, the source argues they actually open up a profound space for faith, for seeing reality as this ongoing
Divine composition.
Exactly. Not a finished recording, but music being written moment by moment.
So here's something maybe for you, the listener, to think about. If the future isn't fully knowable, if it's not set in stone with absolute certainty, and reality really does unfold step by step, how might understanding this intrinsic unpredictability change how you approach things in your own life? You know, how you plan, how you build resilience, how you think about hope?